Welcome to Nostalgia Pilots, a mobile fighter G Gundam podcast that is turning into something strange. I'm Hugh.
I'm Jurd.
I'm Jason.
And I am afraid of clowns. Oh, I'm Spence.
We're here to discuss Mobile Fighter G Gundam Episode 32, Dangerous Trap, Neros Gundam Strikes Back.
Dun dun dun!
Yeah.
Essentially, this is an assassination attempt over and over and over again, with lots of fire.
Basically. But we don't start with our one-eyed boxing announcer. We do get a cold open on the Panda Building.
The Panda Building.
In which we do see our team of shady Japanese government officials being shady.
Of course. Listen, you're in a weird tournament for the control of all of space. It's time to be shady.
But I like the thing I like about this episode is that at this point, G Gundam has by far abandoned any attempt at subtlety. So literally, we do have the premier of Neo Japan and his chief scientist henchman, like openly discussing the people we brought in to secure the Devil Gundam have gone quiet. We don't know what's going on in Guyana with the Devil Gundam. Could something bad have happened to the Devil Gundam? Cut to way too many helicopters driving a giant shipping container through the sky in the middle of the night.
Flying a Borg cube. Yeah, flying a Borg cube into town is essentially what they're doing.
Literally what I thought was happening too.
I was like, how are you trying to be sneaky? Like, this is supposed to be some sort of shady operation, but you have 1,000 helicopters flying a Borg cube across this city. Like, you're telling me nobody looked up?
Literally the entire cast looked up and watched it.
Yeah, what could be inside the container? Oh, yeah, we're all aware of what's inside the container.
I do like that we get, like, different shots of characters doing stuff, like Georgia just kind of hanging out.
I saw she's practicing.
Yeah, Chibodee and the girls are, like, at a rooftop pool, which I thought was nice.
And
well, they need to make up for the last episode.
Yes, they earned some R&R.
Hmm.
And brothers just stoically looking into the distance on a roof.
Oh, like, Schwartz is just doing ninja shit this episode. He's like, screw it, ninja time.
He has my favorite appearance in a scene ever in this episode, actually. But I was reflecting during the theme song. The theme song is so dependent on how they're all best friends and they're all going to work so hard together for each other and whatever. And then I was thinking, like, that's not the vibe I actually get from the show. And then almost to mock me, this episode is really one of the first ones where I felt like it cemented a little bit of that. And it starts with them all doing sort of their separate things. But I was actually, I don't know if impressed is the right word, but I did appreciate how they sort of started pushing them together and then also started establishing for us Evil Club. But anyway, we'll get there.
Yes. And then we do get, like, a shot inside the container, and yes, it's the Devil Gundam.
Dun, dun, dun.
I need the backstory of how you caught the Devil Gundam. Like,
I think right now the Devil Gundam might be inert because of the all the stuff that happened with the super shining finger that he did.
Oh yeah.
At the end of that fight.
Yeah, it had to recover.
Yeah.
Well, so here's my question: why weren't they asking about New Ghana before? Like when Domon was there.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden they care?
Well, I kind of have the feeling that they don't want Domon and Rain to know that they went back and got it. So I think they were sort of like, nope, we're doing the tournament now. Tournament stuff. The tournament's what's important. Don't think about Guyana anymore. Send a bunch of guys back to Guyana.
But hey, after that though, we do get the staple of this show, which is the entrance of another weird Gundam, i.e. Neo Kenya.
Yes, we have another fight with the Zebra Gundam. He does better this time.
Yeah, I was actually impressed. He does fairly well at first, and then it's just like, oh, plot-wise, he turns into tissue paper all of a sudden. Like, everything's fine, and then he just...
All of a sudden, his arms pop off.
Yeah, I do feel like giving him, like, a turning his spear into a pole that he vaults is sort of silly because it's a giant robot.
And on top of that, he somehow can control the pole vault to not launch him forward, but up into the sun as a way to disguise his attack. And I was like,
well, that's just martial arts right there. That's how martial arts work.
Oh, okay. That's the Kenyan martial art of Gundam fighting. Got it. Because he just launches himself into the sky and is like, and to be fair, it's a smart move because Domon can't see him. But wait for it, plot armor.
Yeah.
Well, I understand the confusion, Banks, but what you don't understand is that's actually classic zebra behavior. Like that.
I would have loved for him to be able to make illusions of himself. So it's just a sea of zebra Gundam. and he talks some James Bond villain-esque strategy about now with my camouflage. Like,
well, so no, here's how that would work. That would work if somehow they could hack into the other Gundam's visuals and turn it black and white. Because that's how zebras camouflage themselves, because most other animals can't see color. So the black and white stripes really help them blend in.
Oh, so that could have been a thing where like Domon gets injured, like they attack him before the match and it hurts his eyes so he can only see in black and white.
Right? And so, like, why don't they let me write the damn show? God damn it.
Because Domon would have died episode 3 and it would just been rain from that point on.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah, no, I definitely think they do the thing where he'd like pull the cloak down and it'd be all stripy, and then he'd start running in a circle because anime. Which one's the real zebra Gundam, Domon?
Listen, there's a lot of ninja stuff happening.
And also laughing maniacally while running really fast. But we do like pull back from Domon murdering the fighter in that cockpit by punching him right in the chest.
And ripping his heart out. Oh, no, wait.
Yeah.
That's a different thing.
And it's on a TV in a cafe where all the other Gundam fighters are just having lunch.
So do you think they just sit around that room and, like, smoke cigars and play cards, plotting their evil plans?
Well, I mean, it all depends on if they're sent home or not. If they're forced to be there, then, yeah, they're going to be all miserable and stuff.
I think there was definitely, like a group invite left on the defeated Gundam fighters, like, Facebook thread.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Some kind of buzz going on about this restaurant because it's not just Evil Club that's hanging out there. It's also Allenby. So, I don't picture her as hanging out with, the rest of them.
With Weird Snake Guy, whose name I don't remember.
Weird Snake Guy, Assassin Clown.
Carlos of Neo Spain, because of
giant.
course.
Yeah, a literal giant.
Like, I remember that guy being big when Domon fight him, but he's literally like 3 times the size of all the other people in that scene. Like, they had to like cut the roof out for him to be able to stand up.
Dude, and the best part about this is that we see these guys and we know who they're gonna fight. Like, obviously that dude's gonna fight Argo, right? Like, Argo's gonna end up fighting him because he's the big dude. Like, Chibodee, because of his fear of clowns, is gonna fight Assassin Clown again. Like, it's like this is literally like it's Power Rangers, like, right? Like,
he's gotten over his fear. He's become stronger
because of America the Beautiful.
With his mommies.
Yes, with mommy singing him America the Beautiful.
But anyway, so this party is broken up by Michelo Chariot, who is like both leaning back in his chair and menacing, like moving forward menacingly at the same time somehow. And he's like, "Come with me, I have a plan to murder Domon." And
because of course.
Yes, and so the Matador guy is like too honorable to go through with it.
Carlos of Neo Spain.
Yes, who's in his full Matador regalia all the time, wearing his little hat and gold-trimmed jacket.
But it's a really cute jacket.
Yeah, the argument Evil Club makes is like, Domon is cheating by using his dirty trick, they call it, but it's like, what, his like legally allowed weapon within combat? Anyway.
By having a final boss move that he ends every fight with, it's cheating.
So,
which, I mean...
I'm just going to point out, Snake Guy literally tried to assassinate him before the match. Like, if that's not quote-unquote cheating, anyway.
They literally did all try and beat him up.
Yeah. So, and of course, whatever their plan is.
Yeah.
I liked that the skirmish they kind of have in the jungle gym. It's like the square kind of like.
Oh, as soon as I saw that that lattice that was going up at the start, because all of the other fights they've got actual bleachers and stuff, but this one it's nothing but like scaffolding made of bamboo or something, just straight up into the air with people standing there. How would people even get up there anyway?
Literally everyone in Hong Kong is a martial artist. Didn't you know that?
Oh, well, yeah, okay, fair. But I knew, that was exactly my point, is I knew as soon as I saw those things, I was like, oh, we're getting a fight that's going vertical, and we're just going to go up this thing, and they're going to be doing a bunch of kung fu jumping.
But in the meantime, Domon gets a mysterious phone call from Carlos.
Yeah, and are we going to get an interesting new character? Are we going to get insight into maybe somebody who's not, entirely black and not entirely white? No, Carlos is immediately blown up.
Yeah, the hotel room, or the hotel that he's in, is on fire. That looks like a Spanish church.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. They're like, okay, so Allenby and Domon go out to meet him, and then it looked like they were hanging outside a church, and then it just exploded.
Yes. And my assumption is that somehow Michelo was going to somehow get Domon to take the fall for murdering this guy. But he just sort of comes around the corner, waves at Domon, and then runs off so that they can have their scaffolding fight. And which is the point that I wrote down, that this elaborate trap could have been an email. Because he could have just wrote a thing that says, "Fight me, Domon," and Domon would have shown up and fought him. He didn't need to go to the trouble of blowing up a dude's hotel.
And then when he does get out to fight, he just fades on him. Anyway.
Well, he fades after rainbow kicking him.
Yes, because to be fair, Michelo hasn't really upped his game fight style-wise. He's still doing the same stuff. He's just eviler now.
He's still kicking lasers.
Instead of Michelob Light, he's Michelob Evil.
Yes.
Evil.
But he does have a rainbow laser kick now that I have to stand.
I think, are they vaguely saying that Michelob is fighting because he has a crush on Domon? I think that's what it is. I think that's what it is.
We do get a short scene where he's like, "I vowed revenge after he beat me the first time." Are you trying really hard to have a nemesis situation with Domon, and it's just not happening, buddy?
Yeah, most shows would have given us more of a backstory of why he decided to choose revenge. They would have shown us his training and being approached by Master Asia and the Devil Gundam, so you want to defeat him, huh? The new King of Hearts will come over here and get some of these DG cells. You would have seen that, but more or less we just get him having a methadone fix where he looks sickly and
Yeah, listen, we're 32 episodes in here, and they had all the time in the world to establish this dude as more of a character, but instead we've got a guy that I only vaguely remember showing up previously.
Yeah, because he was in episode 1.
Yes. Yeah. It was kind of the least important part of episode 1 too.
Yeah, because wait for it, Domon caught bullets with his bare hands in that episode.
And Rain had a compact that made a bubble shield.
Yeah, and there was also that super.
Where did that thing go? Wouldn't that thing have come in handy again?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Right?
If you're trying to get people out of a burning building. But yeah, so Domon and Michelo scrap, and Allenby just kind of stands there disappointingly. They go back to the place where Allenby saw the meeting between him and the other Gundam fighters, so that they can do more hard-boiled detective cliches. But there is this one part of that scene where I where literally the premier of Hong Kong, who rules space, apparently owns this shady club, and he makes an appearance by strolling out of a dragon's mouth while it's breathing smoke, which is pretty badass.
Yeah, that whole sequence actually got me, because I did not anticipate that he was going to appear out of it.
My question is that his official entrance? Is it like a band playing Hail to the Chief for the President? Like, does he have to like bring that dragon head with him to like G8 summits so they can make an appearance out of it?
I mean, honestly, what it is, it's a projector and then just a bunch of fog machines in an arc.
Fair.
And so they project the dragon head when they go traveling, and have the smoke machines.
I want to know who was his interior designer for this club, because he just has random evil villain screens like just popping out of nowhere. Like I want to see the architect and the designers who were like trying to make this happen, because he knows this is going to happen. Like he's sprawled on this couch. By the way, didn't take the jacket off. He's still draped in the jacket while sitting down. I don't know what, he
might be cold.
He's got some swagger to him. I think that's what he wants. He wants to have some style, some panache while he's taunting Domon.
I just think he has no want to hide any of his villainy at this point. Like, he literally at one point is like, yeah, sometimes when I look at the city, I think it all belongs to me, and you belong to me. And Domon's literally like, what? And Allenby's like, so anyway, and they just move on from there. But
and they're just like, we're done here, goodbye.
Yeah, and I'm like it's again, it's like he's a Bond villain just in the wrong show. Like he's just a Bond villain in the wrong show. And I do like though that like every like I like the fact that there's a bunch of different like settings for these things. Like again, we had the jungle gym scaffolding air fight. We've had the club scene. Like, but again, for some reason, all the city and areas they fight in with the Gundams look thrashed. Like, yeah, but I'm like, but we've seen other places be absolutely beautiful. Like, what's going on with this city? And why is it like this fantastical club here? But there's a building next to it that looks like it got hit by an atom bomb. Like we're getting a lot of the city, but we're just not getting a lot of consistency when it comes to like how they design the cities. Because you would think
I do think that's part of the aesthetic for G Gundam is some things are nice, a lot of things are terrible, but it's always kind of a crapshoot what's going to be what. Because we have seen like a bunch of the buildings in the city that are all like cracked and ruined.
Yeah, but then there's also Neo Mexico that looked gorgeous and was amazing. Way back when, it was. I think that was Neo Mexico.
Indeed.
Yeah.
With like all the shiny beaches and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
maybe I'm just saying, maybe if they stop spending so much money on giant robots that shattered each other, they might have enough funding for housing. I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah, some infrastructure money, some funding.
Although we do get the reveal that there is a thriving lumber market in the coming up scene. And I have to say this, Chibodee has a sweet car. I was taken immediately back to something like Cadillacs and Dinosaurs when I saw that thing. I was like, wow, that is a sweet ride.
Yeah, so Chibodee does have like an awesome giant car that he's driving around that is left-hand drive.
Is Chibodee the only one who actually seems to have a sizable amount of money?
Well, Domon doesn't have any money.
I think conspicuous consumption is taken as an American trait.
Right. But, presumably George has a lot of money, but mostly it's, for his...
Used to pay for Raymond.
Yeah.
Cheese and roses.
It's used to fix up Raymond's weird butler Gundam.
Yes.
But he drives the steering wheel, and I still that works.
So, yeah, Chibodee is riding with the girls, and then all of a sudden, nearly gets run off the road.
By a
creepy clown.
Well, there's a clown driving a lumber truck that is huge, and it won't go, and it cuts him off, and then it just kind of dumps the logs, and they like spin out, but they're fine because I want to reiterate that this is a hover car. So it can just kind of go over the logs.
Although this was the point where I was like, oh no, I now have linked this clown with Sweet Tooth from Twisted Metal forever in my mind. I don't know if you guys ever played those games.
Yes.
Yeah.
So as soon as you're in an attack vehicle being driven by a clown, you're just Sweet Tooth.
Also, like, how does running a hover car off the road work? Because it's a hover car. It basically can fly.
Not explained. But we do get a scene where the rest of the Shuffle Alliance is having a meeting because they've all had, like, not very good attempts to kill them, in which we do get a confirmation that all of these Gundam fighters are being housed in hotels that look like their country's architecture, because we get, like, a shot of the alleged bombing of Neo-Russia's hotel, and it's definitely got, like, a dome.
See, like... Again, we could have better infrastructure if we weren't catering entire hotels to countries.
And
Yeah.
I was a little unclear because, okay, the log truck thing, you know, they come close. Chibodee's, got good reflexes. He's an action guy. Like, he gets out of the way. They're like, yeah, they bombed our hotel. How did you catch on to that one? How many Russians were killed in this bombing? Like, you don't narrowly avoid having your hotel leveled by a bomb. Anyway.
Well, he's got a bomb on his chest. Maybe there's like, wait a minute.
My bomb sense is
I know what a
tingling.
bomb is.
My bomb sense is tingling.
We've got so many bombs on Team Russia. You think you're gonna fool us with a bomb?
But I do love after they all give like little, yeah, we got attacked too. How does Schwarzbruder have a theater trap door in the middle of this solid concrete building? Is what it looks like.
I don't want an explanation of how. I assume
Rises out of a shadow like he's fucking Dracula.
I have to assume that 6 hours before this meeting, he has gone to this roadway. He has dug an 8-foot hole. He has filled this hole with black oil to make it look like somebody's shadow. And then right at the right time, he's got a scuba tank. He's down there for 8 hours. They show up just on cue, and just boom, up he goes. Perfect.
There is a flaw. He would be covered in oil.
He's ninja. He's slippery.
I'm watching this, and they all act like it's okay. Like, no one bats an eye to this man does something literally supernatural.
Yeah, at this point, they're like, yeah, that's Schwartz. He does that shit. It's fine.
Like, he emerged from a shadow literally like a demon. Like,
but just mid-conversation and no one even breaks.
Yeah.
They were like, it's like when anybody's like, oh, that's Spence, they're crocheting, it's fine.
Yeah, it's just what they do. It's just what they do. Like, oh, wow. Like, it just, like, it makes you wonder if, like, supernatural things happen more often. Like, where is the episode of this show where they have to fight a ghost?
Well, they literally fought a mummy.
That is true.
Yeah.
They did fight a mummy. So yeah, I mean, maybe they're just used to supernatural shit happening, guys. I don't know, because it is just one of those things where you're watching and you're like, did he just Naruto himself into this show? Like, he did.
I mean, there is a reason for it when we find out what Schwartz's deal is later.
But actually, you know what? That reminded me of Ninja Scroll, or
oh yeah, totally.
Or Vampire Hunter D, because Bengi from Bloodlust did the same thing. He like moved through the shadows. So yeah, like it's this is the moments in G Gundam that I love when stuff like that happens.
So do we go immediately from that to the fight, because that would be from the most fantastical point of the show to literally the most mundane, hilarious part of the show.
Yeah, pretty much we just go into the fight where Domon's gonna fight Neros Gundam again, and everyone's like, well, you fought him once, but don't underestimate him this time.
But his surprise was that he can blow himself up.
No, Domon starts getting the crap kicked out of him, and Allenby rushes the mic. Another one of these rush the mic to talk to the pilot things. Like, it's a radio signal. Just, you've all got Gundams. Just call from your own gun. Anyway.
Yeah.
So she's like, hey, shut up, old man. I need to talk to Domon. So we're all like, okay, what's it going to be? What's this wisdom going to be? And her literal wisdom is, wait till he's not beating the crap out of you, then hit him. And you're like, what? What?
Good job, Allenby. Hit his super secret weak point. Is there a part of the Neros Gundam that's flashing?
Like, it's just, like, it's literally Muhammad Ali's rope-a-dope. It's like, just let him hit you until he's tired and then hit him. Like,
or it's Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. You got to watch for the pattern
Yes.
and then get in there and hit him like Glass Joe. Anyway, Rodan appears, so it doesn't matter so much in the end.
but I will say this is probably the most interesting new Gundam reveal, because he's using the old Gundam he had at first, and he was doing okay. Like, he did the whole, like, jump on Domon, kneeing him in the face, and it was good. But then he decides to suicide bomb himself with the Gundam to reveal his new Vulture Gundam.
Well, Gundam, like, what Domon does this thing where he like takes the little spikes on his shield, like on his arm, and like flips them up, and then like stabs them right into like Chariot's eyes, which is like a little dark, by the way.
Also, when did those become weapons?
Literally just this episode.
I'm not saying, because I thought those were just for show. Like, they were just some flair to the Gundam. No, they're actual blades. Okay. Oh, maybe this is Domon paying homage to his ninja brother, because his Gundam has elbow knives like Guyver.
Very coincidentally, like Guyver.
One of these things is.
But not so coincidentally to be invoking copyright law or anything.
Right.
But yeah, like, and so then, and I guess because I guess he predicted that Domon would stab him in the eyes so that he could have this bomb go off and create this smoke cloud so he can vulture around in it.
Right. So he transforms into the bird. And
What
then,
is the name of this actual Gundam? What is the actual Gundam?
I don't think it's said in the episode, but it's Gundam Heaven's Sword.
It's a cool name, but I don't
It's fairly badass.
Yeah, and it can use its cool little vulture legs while transformed. Because it at one point clamps onto Domon, and then like the upper part of it transforms, so I guess he can talk to Domon, but I don't know why he would have to uncover the Gundam's face to do that when, again, they have radios.
If you've had a transformer in your past, a toy, there's always this problem with like the bird ones or even sometimes the insect ones where you do get this extra long piece. And I think in this case it's supposed to be the beak, and it kind of like pokes out the top of his head. Did anybody kind of feel like we had like a Grand Vizier of the KKK kind of situation?
Yeah,
going on
it's
a little
just got
bit?
like a weird
It was
white
a very
coning.
It was a very pointy hat.
This feels like it's sort of like a rough draft for what they're going for with the Wing Gundam, and the Wing Gundam looks much better.
Yeah,
like, they figured out how can we transform into a jet and not have it look like really dumb when he's not a jet.
Yeah, because it even does the whole like where the wings become limbs and kind of transform into the main Gundam itself. Like, I definitely think you are right that this is like a rough draft for either the Wing Gundam or any of the main Gundam, like the lead white Gundams. Like, to be fair, it's very similar color palette to the God Gundam or the Shining Gundam.
Yeah, because it's like white, orange, and yellow. Domon shoots fire at it, and I guess it falls over.
And
it
kills
turns back
1,000
into
civilians.
Yeah.
It's perfectly fine. Just sort of arcs off into the city, explodes. Who knows? Maybe takes out a shopping mall. No problem.
Also, I want to know how much power they're drawing from this city to power this dome field to protect the city from the explosion and like the fight. Like, because this is the first time I've seen this. I think this is the first time we've seen the dome in action in the tournament, because most of the time there's like stands and stadiums and like they fought on the water, and I didn't see a dome there when he fought the Norse Gundam with all the rowing. Yeah, I didn't see any protective dome there either.
Yeah, they played pretty loose and fast with how close. Because it seemed, wasn't there an episode where like one of the Gundams gets pushed up against the very platform everybody's standing on? Like,
yeah. Or when those kids nearly get hit by the Gundam when they're on the top of the building.
I almost think this Wong guy isn't doing a very good job of running this thing.
It's almost as if he had some sort of weird, mysterious plan and a giant robot in his basement.
Could he be evil?
He's gonna eat this this fancy Pocky sinisterly. I did like that they like specifically showed that it's like one of the nut covered ones because those are really good. Like, oh, you got the good cut Pocky this time. You went with the Premier Pocky. It's just not the box you got at the convenience store for 29 cents or 89 cents or 100 yen or whatever.
Sometimes when I look out over the Pocky, I think it all belongs to me.
And he obviously gets the really good ramen, the one with the like dehydrated vegetables and like the multiple sauce packs and the chili sauce. Like,
oh, he gets the one that has like the dried shrimp in it.
Oh yeah. Like he's living like a college student who just got a refund back for his financial aid. Doing a good time.
But that pretty much brings us to the end of the episode where they fought the Michelo Chariot, yet somehow the Devil Gundam's in the city.
I want to know where I feel like they're playing fast and loose with the size of the Devil Gundam.
Right.
Because I thought the Devil Gundam was much bigger than that. Or at least the bottom part, like the weird...
I mean, those were very big helicopters. So...
I think it was also largely trashed, right? Like, I think it seemed to be greatly reduced in size.
Right, so I think you're just looking at the little head part that was also a body on top of the bigger body that was also a head.
I assume it's tinier bodies and tinier heads all the way down, like.
Is it it's a nesting doll?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So does that bring us to our favorite moments?
I think so. And I think my favorite moment is definitely the reveal that all of these countries get to stay in pavilions of their country, like they're staying at the Hong Kong Epcot Center.
Okay, so wait, guys, listen to me. Guys, listen to me. Listen. Everyone listen. Hit him when he stops hitting you.
I mean, it's true.
I think my favorite part is the clown trying to assassinate Chibodee by running him off the road in a car that flies. Just
the only thing there I do wish we got was a nefarious clown honk, like a or like anyway.
Yeah, like we missed a honk. Like if he like grabbed his own nose and then it was like a truck horn.
And Chibodee should have responded with, as I was just told, when he tried to run them off the road, Chibodee should have said, "Where we're going, we don't need roads."
I think my favorite part is one that we didn't cover, but it was this tiny little scene where the kids, Hoi and Ming, I think are their names, they're sitting against the boathouse and they're talking, and the boy's like, "No way, Domon likes rain." "Oh yeah, and does she like him back?" "Well, of course she does. And what would you know about what women like?" He's like, "Well, I know, of course." And then Domon comes around the corner, "So, you know what women like?" And it was really cute.
And someone should have immediately said, "They know more than you, Domon."
Yeah,
and then the phone rings, and it's Carlos.
Yeah, no, part of it is really like Domon being like, "No, really though, do you know?
I need some advice."
I need literally anything because I've been nagging it for episodes and it's not working.
And between Allenby and then last episode and Chibodee's girls being all over him, yeah.
So what country is Allenby supporting?
Sweden, I believe.
Okay, because I'm like, she's just hanging out with Neo Japan, like. You think?
Well, they didn't tell her she had to go home.
That's true, but I'm saying, like, do you think Neo Sweden's like, what are you doing?
Watching my competitors, obviously. I just realized that my hair is very similar to Allenby's now.
The color is almost there. It is. New cosplay.
I am not cosplaying as Allenby. Don't ask me to. It's a skin tight suit. I'm not doing it.
Oh man, but no man.
It is a cool vest though.
Yeah. It is a cool vest.
Like you could do like a casual cosplay, Allenby.
Oh yeah. But yeah, I think that's everybody, right?
Yes. So join us next week for episode 33, which is Chapman coming back, because that guy needed to come back.
I'm still waiting for our lovely Canadian Argo fight, because we haven't seen that couple. We haven't seen that lovely couple in a while.
We need that, and then we need the confession of love afterwards.
Very true. Very, very true.
A triad, and there was a thing between both of them and the dead wife, and
part of that's part of Argo's like eternal suffering is that he killed the one he loved,
right?
Or
and
one of the ones he
like,
loved.
He was just going out to do space crimes to get legitimate, and then they were going to settle down on Earth, and then it all went wrong.
Then it all went horribly wrong.
So join us next time for episode 33, Emissary of Darkness, Chapman Rises Again. Until next week, you can find all of our show notes at nostalgiapilots.com. Follow all of my links at linktr.ee/Hugh J. O'Donnell.
You can find all my stuff over at skinner.fm.
You can find me at nerdswithvoices.com or at nuttybites.org.
And you can find all of my links at linktr.ee/resonant moon.